Hello and welcome back to Meghan and Harry Tales, where we uncover the truth behind the headlines and shine a spotlight on the stories that matter most, especially when it comes to the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. I'm your host, Adrian. Today's video dives into a recent media frenzy, claiming Prince Harry looked down and sad during a BBC interview with royal experts, suggesting he's to blame for destroying any chance of reconciliation with his father, King Charles. But we're not here to parrot the same tired tabloid talking points. Instead, we'll be digging deep into what's really behind Harry's emotional state, what the media conveniently leaves out, and how the British press continues to weaponize empathy to undermine the Sussexes. Let's talk about what's really sad, and it's not Harry's face. So here's what kicked off this round of criticism. Last month, Prince Harry appeared in a BBC interview after losing his legal challenge to retain taxpayer-funded security while in the UK. In that interview, Harry expressed heartfelt concerns about his family, specifically his father King Charles, and reiterated once again that he wanted reconciliation. He didn't scream, he didn't attack, he spoke from the heart. But instead of listening to what Harry said, the media focused on how he looked. Cue royal photographer Arthur Edwards, who declared that Harry looked so sad and down, suggesting this was a sign of regret and that he had somehow killed any chance of mending ties with King Charles. Let's pause there. When did having emotions become a bad thing? Why is sadness suddenly framed as weakness or worse, guilt? The same media that spent years calling Harry emotionally stunted and unhinged are now using his visible pain to shame him for being human. This isn't journalism, it's spin. Arthur Edwards is no neutral observer. He's spent decades photographing the royals, but he's also spent those decades defending the monarchy at all costs. When he says Harry looked sad and should have apologised to Charles, he's not offering analysis, he's pushing a narrative. Think about it, if Harry had smiled, they'd say he was smug. If he cried, they'd say he was unstable. If he stayed silent, they'd say he was hiding something. There is no version of Harry they will accept unless he kneels and begs. And what exactly was Harry supposed to apologise for? For asking to feel safe in his own country? For speaking openly about the pain his family caused, for daring to say, "I want to see my father," in a world where even that is dissected like a political landmine. Harry's interview wasn't a tirade. It was an olive branch wrapped in vulnerability, but the British press set fire to it and then blamed Harry for the ashes. Let's call this what it is: image management. The firm, the institution of the monarchy, needs Prince Harry to look like the failed son. The runaway royal who chose love, freedom and therapy over tradition, silence and suffering. Because if Harry is right, if he's justified in his pain, then what does that say about the royal system? So instead they paint Harry as the lost lamb, cut off from his family by his own hand. They say he ended communication. They say he dropped bombs. They ignore the fact that Prince William stopped returning calls, that Charles refused to see Harry during a visit when he was just minutes away. You want to talk sad? That's sad. The institution will always protect itself first, and Harry, by speaking his truth, became a threat. Now let's talk about the legal case that reignited this conversation. Prince Harry lost his appeal to keep publicly funded security when visiting the UK, even though he offered to pay for it himself. The reason? The British government, and by extension the Royal and VIP Executive Committee, RAVEC, denied him the right to receive the same protection other high-profile individuals enjoy. This wasn't about privilege, it was about safety. Harry's legal filings detailed credible threats against him and his family, yet when he fought for his right to protect Meghan and their children while visiting his homeland, the tabloids painted it as entitlement. Why? Because it suits their narrative that Harry is out of touch, demanding and difficult, but in reality he's a father protecting his family, and for that he's vilified. What if Arthur Edwards is right about one thing, that Harry did look sad? What if he was sad because he misses his dad, because his father is sick, because his own children barely know their grandfather, because, despite everything, he wants reconciliation and the door is closed? What if it wasn't guilt, but grief? The kind of grief that only comes from realizing that time is running out and pride is winning over love. But you won't hear that from The Sun or the Daily Mail, because complexity doesn't sell. Villains and victims do. Harry doesn't need to perform strength for the cameras. Real strength is found in tears, in honesty, in showing up even when the world misunderstands you. Arthur Edwards also threw in a casual dig at Meghan, saying Harry doesn't seem to have a real role now while Meghan dives into business ventures. And there it is, the subtle blame game. The suggestion that Meghan has left Harry in the dust, that she's pursuing success while he wallows in sorrow. But here's the truth. They are both building their future together. Meghan has podcasts, lifestyle brands and production deals. Harry has his work with Invictus, mental health advocacy and security reform. But for the press, a woman succeeding is threatening, and a man supporting her, unthinkable. The message is clear. If Harry is not the stoic soldier or palace puppet, he must be lost. It's not just about Harry's sadness, it's about their discomfort with a man who chose a different life, one led by love, not legacy. Let's dissect the most absurd quote from Edwards. If he'd only said, "Sorry, Pop, I want to see you," it might have had a different effect. As if reconciliation hinges on a public apology to a father who won't take his son's calls. This isn't a fairy tale. This is a toxic pattern, where the victim is asked to apologize to their abuser, where the son who was denied protection must beg for forgiveness for speaking out. Harry has always said he wants reconciliation, but reconciliation doesn't come through grovelling, it comes through accountability on both sides. What has the palace apologised for? For ignoring racist headlines? For refusing Meghan mental health support? For briefing the press against their own family? We're still waiting. Prince Harry said in his interview that he misses the UK, that it's sad he can't show his children his homeland. But make no mistake, the UK misses Harry too. His warmth, his humour, his humanity. He was the most relatable royal, and the monarchy lost something real when they pushed him out. What remains is an institution clinging to tradition, alienating the very people who brought it relevance in the modern era. And who does that serve? Not the public, not the future. Just a fragile hierarchy built on image, not integrity. So the next time you see a headline claiming Harry looked sad, remember this. Sadness is not weakness. Vulnerability is not failure. And empathy should never be weaponized. Prince Harry stood in front of the world, hurt and human, and said, "I miss my father." If the palace or the press had any decency, they'd start there. Instead, they turned sadness into scandal and reconciliation into blame. But we see through it, and we stand with Harry, with Meghan, with truth over tabloids. Thanks for watching Meghan and Harry Tales. I'm Adrian. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video if you're tired of the media spin and ready for real stories. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious and keep questioning the crown.